Here's your Wisconsin Wine Guide, and as promised, you know, I wanted to try these wines with some food, or some type of, or some form of food, and I thought I'd go something really simple, and it's going to be cheese, right? Cheese, that's right. But this is an exceptional cheese. The brand is Roelli, and it's a cheese that's made here in Wisconsin. And here's what makes this cheese so special to me. So I was perusing the cheese section in my local store, and I saw this cheese. I said, "Oh, I like blue cheese. Who doesn't like? I mean, some people don't like blue cheese, but I like blue cheese." So I thought, "Oh, this is different. Let me check this out." And it is a cheddar, a white cheddar blue cheese. Right, right. Wow. Let me read what it says to you. So this is by a cheese creamery called Roelli, Roelli, here in Wisconsin. Roelli Dunbarton Blue, handcrafted in Wisconsin. Here's how I describe it. An open-air, chef-cured cheese with the characteristics of an English cheddar coupled with the subtle flavor of fine blue cheese. I read them like, okay, I never had such things before, so let me give it a try. Oh my God, it was phenomenal. I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, it had a very nice melt to it. It wasn't overly blue cheesy like some people like to say, but it was very well balanced. Nice. It had a firmness but creaminess at the same time. It had a very nice melt on my palate. Maybe my mouth was warm or my body was warm, but it was delicious. So I decided, let me pair this cheese with these three wines. I shot reviews of these wines, and I will make sure I attach the review of these wines to this cheese, and also attach the cheese to each of those wines, so you can check it out, right? And if you can find this in your area, if you're local in Wisconsin, you may be able to find it. If you're not in Wisconsin, you may or may not be able to find it. But that brings me to another story. So I'm not originally from Wisconsin. I don't know if you've been following me long enough, you know that I'm not originally from Wisconsin. I'm originally from California. And when I came to Wisconsin and was doing the cheese wars, I like to call them the cheese wars. It's like the soda wars, Pepsi and Cola. Yeah, there was cheese wars, And if you recall, if you're in my age group, or maybe 10 years or maybe 15 years younger than myself, you would probably remember this. The cheese wars consisted of the whole Happy Cow commercial. Happy cows come from California. That's what I came to Wisconsin during that whole campaign. And let me tell you, it was a hoot, meeting people and learning from California, and we got this whole cheese thing going on. It was fantastic. I made a lot of wonderful friends over the years. The most interesting is that I can almost say I got a couple of years left, and I've been here in Wisconsin for 3 decades. 3 decades. Can you believe it? Coming from California? But I must say, aside from the cheese wars and having 3 decades of tasting cheeses and watching the cheese industry grow here in Wisconsin, there are some very good cheeses here. And, I got to say, California, we in Wisconsin, we got you beat. So there's my 2 pennies on the subject. But let's get back to the cheese, the Roelli cheese. Let's get this open. I thought, wow, I enjoyed this cheese so much. Let's find out how this cheese is going to taste with these wines. So I have the ERATH Pinot Noir. Well, first let's say this. All these wines from Oregon. So I have the ERATH Pinot Noir. It's a 2022. I have the A to Z Rosé, which is going to be a blend of Sangiovese and Pinot Noir. That's going to be a 2024, I believe. Yep, 2024. And then I have the Oregon Riesling from A to Z, which is going to be a 2022. All right. Look at that rind. I mean, this is a real deal. Let's get that in here. So take a look at that. Here's the rind. Here's the cheese. You can see the blue veins going through on all sides. This is beautiful. My hand is warm and it's starting to melt the cheese. So, and I got some sourdough toast here. Let me get the wines poured because we're going to taste this without the bread. Okay, I'm going raw on this because I just want the wines themselves to see how they will match up with this cheese, right? And that's how you do it. And you know, if you've followed me long enough, I always have this saying that says, step outside the box. Okay, step outside your box. Don't stand on tradition. Try different things, different wines, different foods, you know, and just go for it. That is the secret. I was telling someone this the other night. That is the secret to wine and food pairing. Stepping outside the box and making discoveries. Okay? So there you have it. Make your discovery. That's my commercial. So let's give this, ooh, I pulled this out of the refrigerator so it had a chance to get warm. I'm going to cut off some nice little simple slices here. Wow, that just breaks off really nice. I guess I should have turned it this way so you can see it, huh? So I got like 3 little strips here. And I got some nice little vein in there, and I got some side rind on one. I'm going to bypass the side rind on that one. And here are my 3 little strips here, all right? I'm going to take the first taste of the cheese. Wow! That is so good. So, let me tell you what I'm feeling here. You get that cheddar tanginess, like a sharp cheddar, subtle nut. Then you get that pungency from the blue vines that's coming in there. I'm going to try it first with the Pinot Noir. Oh yeah, baby. That worked. I mean, in fact, blue cheeses go great with a nice fruit and fully flavored red wine. Okay? I'm going to go two bites for the Pinot Noir. Wow. Now, I can't tell you what I thought about these wines on their own. I watched the video for that. But with the cheese, that fruit just comes through. The acidity cleanses my palate. That's a really nice pairing together. I'm digging that. But we have 2 more wines. Now, the wine doesn't overpower the cheese. The cheese doesn't overpower the wine. They take turns. I still got some cheese residue flavor. Oh yeah, man, baby, that's good. It brings out more of that duck a la orange, that citrus notes. Wow. Now let's do a rinse with the rosé. Then we're going to try the cheese with the rosé. The rosé again is going to be a blend of Sangiovese and Pinot Noir. There's my rinse. Here's my cheese. Now for the wine. Oh, man. It's going to be tough to choose one wine so far that goes well with this cheese, because so far both of those wines are spot on. One more bite of cheese. Give it a second try. Wow. More of the fruit, the strawberry, the melon notes come out of the rosé in this case. Whereas in the Pinot Noir, as I said, more of that toastness from the barrel, which I associate that combination of that and the fruit together, that duck a l'orange taste to it. So it brings out more of that. But neither of these dominate the cheese, or the cheese dominates the wine. Okay? So we have a red, a semi-red. Now for the Riesling. Okay? The Riesling is kind of like an off-dry Riesling, middle-of-the-road type of Riesling. You know, but it has, again, it has a nice fruit presence to it. Finishes dry, great acidity. So let's see what happens here with this. Get us a nice chunky piece. Mm. I know I didn't rinse. Mm. Okay. Okay. There's a smile on my face. It's not okay like okay. It's like okay. One more taste. All right. So here's what happens with the Riesling. It brings out more of the like honey notes from the taste from the Riesling. It puts you in mind of like an ice wine. You know, the nice acidity, the intensity of concentrated flavor, and the honeyness. It puts you in mind of that. But the wine itself doesn't turn sweet. It just brings out more of the fruit qualities. Still finishes dry, but almost like it's just like having fruit and cheese. I mean, wow. Each of these wines are different. These are somewhat similar. I like the dimensions and brings out more of that barrel toastiness with the duck a l'orange taste here. I like how the fruit comes out, you know, with the rosé. But then here, again, it's like having an ice wine with blue cheese. So it's kind of hard for me to choose which would be my favorite because each of these are so unique, and I'm going to stand on uniqueness and individuality with these. I think they all did very well with this cheese. You can try with a standard blue cheese, but I think they all did very well with this cheese. I can't pick just one. I'm just going to enjoy them all. There you have it. Wisconsin Wine Guy saying as always, let your palate be your guide when pairing your wines and your cheese. And I'm going to sit here and just be in cheese and wine heaven and enjoy myself. I'll see you next time. Let's get a piece of cheese here. Ciao.